Hey everybody, I'm Jacob Ober of OberSports, and today's going to be the first of one of many dual commentaries with my best friend, Ryan Wetland of BrewPack 8. Ryan?
What up, y'all? This team's going to win the championship this year.
Well, alright, so our first topic we're going to talk about today is how many games can the Packers win with Brett Hundley at quarterback this season? And my answer to that would be 3 to 4 games. With an Aaron Rodgers return by week 15 or 16 looking more and more likely, I think the Packers should be able to scrap together at least about 3 wins as they play some pretty downtrodden teams such as the Bears, the Ravens, and the Browns, upsetting a team or two along the way such as the Buccaneers or even the Lions at home in a couple weeks here on Monday Night Football, who's had their fair share of up and downs. Very possible. If Green Bay can win at least 3 games and Rodgers can return by week 15, I think the Packers could be about 7-6 at that point, or maybe even 8-5. That's a very real possibility. And winning the final 3 games against the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Lions are all within the realm of possibility if we have Aaron Rodgers on the team. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this topic?
Okay, so I don't think it matters till McCarthy learns to throw the ball deep. Doesn't matter who we have at QB, as a backup, because McCarthy keeps calling 5-yard passes and then runs with Jones and Ty. Who cares? We can probably not gonna beat the Browns if we keep playing like that. So if Rodgers comes back, I don't know if we're gonna be in the playoff contention, and if we're in trouble. That's all I'm saying.
Our second topic today is, would Eric Bledsoe be a good fit in Milwaukee? Should they trade for him? And my answer to that is absolutely that he would be a good fit in Milwaukee. His defense is fantastic. His distribution skills are great. He's a great mid-range shooter. In my opinion, he's a better mid-range shooter than Malcolm Brogdon is. His 3 ball is a little bit inconsistent. He's only a 33% career 3-point shooter, but guys like Malcolm and Mirza, Terry, and Chris are there for a reason on the Bucks, and that's to pick up the struggling shooters that are on our team. With Bledsoe, I really think that the Bucks are instantly be a top 3 seed if they aren't already. And with how poorly Cleveland and Boston have been playing and how amazing Giannis Antetokounmpo has been playing, he's definitely the leading candidate in the MVP race so far, even though we're only 4 games in. It's not impossible to see the Bucks taking the number 1 seed when it's all said and done. And I'm very confident when I say that. I really do think the Bucks can get the number 1 seed this year with the way Cleveland and Boston are playing. But obviously there's a long ways to go, so we'll have to see. But yes, I do think that Eric Bledsoe would absolutely be a good fit in Milwaukee, and we definitely should try to trade for him if it's the right asking price. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this?
All right, so I believe there's 2 people you can't trade. Giannis, obviously, and Chris Middleton for the second one, because those people are they're better than Eric. So I'm going to go with, if they're in the talks, don't do it. And I believe a trade like with Moose and a first-round pick might sound good. I'd probably take it. But then you have too many guards, and then you have Maker and Hinson down low, and maybe Mirza too. But that's too many guards, and I don't really like that. So I'd probably take that trade. I've seen some trades like with Rashad and Deli and Hinson and a pick. I'd probably do that. But just don't trade Malcolm, Middleton, or Giannis, and I'd probably be okay with it.
I agree. I think there are a lot of expendable options on the Milwaukee Bucks right now. John Henson especially is one of the leading names we're talking about when we're talking about trading for Eric Bledsoe. Earlier in the year, or before the season started, I would have laughed if you told me that John Henson would actually have some trade value right now, but he does. He's 4th in the league in shot blocks, so definitely a very real possibility that he could be one of the centerpieces of a trade with Eric Bledsoe. And he's not really that old. He hasn't hit 30 yet. He's in his late 20s, I believe. So definitely a possibility that John Henson is in that deal. There's some recent reports about Malcolm Brogdon being involved in the trade, and the Bucks didn't really like that. They've been trying to pawn off Dellavedova, but the Suns aren't buying it. So if they can't get him to accept Dellavedova, or if they won't move on Brogdon, then looks like the Bucks are going to be out of it. But very real possibility that the Bucks are trade a guy like Henson or Monroe or something. I wouldn't be too high on trading a guy like Giannis or Middleton or Thon Maker.
And also, I saw that the Suns wanted some younger talent. They don't have to be superstars, but they want some people with upside to it. So maybe like DJ Wilson. I feel like Rashad can still get it together and just to trade some younger guys that haven't proven themselves yet, and maybe even Henson, and maybe you could get that done too.
Topic number 3 here. Should the Brewers pursue an ace in the offseason? And my answer to that is, at the very least, I think the Brewers should pursue a higher-end starting pitcher. With Garza most likely gone and Nelson out for a significant portion of 2018, I think the Brewers are going to have to go and try to find a proven veteran out on the market this offseason. Names like Yu Darvish and Lance Lynn are going to float around, I believe, for a while, but I really hope the Brewers, as the team with the lowest payroll in the MLB last season, should try and make a splash and sign Jake Arrieta. Arrieta didn't have his best season last year, but he still finished 14-10 with a 3.53 ERA, and is only 2 years removed from winning the Cy Young. He also brings a lot of valuable postseason experience. He was a part of a World Series champion last season, and he has a career 3.08 ERA in the postseason. So he would be a fantastic addition to this Brewers pitching staff, and he would might be a guy that would push us into the playoffs next season. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
All right, so we did just sign Chase Anderson till 2021, so I like that, especially how he was our ace this season, and Nelson and Davies. And I hope we don't get someone like Jeff Suppan or Garza or Loesch like we've done before and spend $50 million on a washed-up guy, because that's a no-no. But David Stearns did say that we can spend some big money this year or offseason and get someone like Jake Arrieta maybe, or Yu Darvish, and I'd like that. I'd like to see us do that. Okay, the next, is there any way that Wisconsin gets snubbed if they go undefeated out of the college football playoffs? And I believe there's 2 possibilities to this, and that is Notre Dame and Georgia. And the way that can happen is Georgia wins out and then loses in the SEC championship to Alabama by a respectable, maybe 2 touchdowns or less. They're probably going to take them, because if your only loss is to Bama, I mean, that's not bad. And then Notre Dame, their only loss is by 1 point to the Georgia Bulldogs, 20-19. That was like week 3 or whatever. And they still have to play Miami, still play Stanford. They play NC State this weekend. They already beat USC. That's a lot of quality wins right there. And if your only loss is to Georgia, who is a top 3 team in the country right now, they might leave us off, because Wisconsin, their only win if they go undefeated would be Penn State or Ohio State or maybe Michigan State in the Big Ten Championship. And we kind of got to hope that Michigan or Iowa win some games so they get ranked, because if they don't, then we don't have one ranked win till the Big Ten Championship.
I agree with you. There's definitely a possibility that Wisconsin does get snubbed by the college football playoff, although I don't think it should be that way. Now, the AP poll is often a close reflection of what the college football playoff is going to be like, and currently the Badgers are 5th in the AP poll. Now, I can't imagine the Badgers winning 5 more regular season games, plus the Big Ten championship game over Ohio State or Penn State, and missing out on a playoff berth when they're already only 1 spot out of it, according to the AP poll. But the committee would probably have a soft spot for a team like maybe Oklahoma, who plays with a flashy quarterback star named Baker Mayfield. And the committee loves the star powers, and the Badgers really don't have that outside of Jonathan Taylor. And even he's not that big on the national stage right now. So there's definitely a possibility that a 1-loss Oklahoma wins the Big 12 and gets in over an undefeated Big 10 championship Wisconsin Badgers. But I really think that the Badgers would be picked over a 1-loss team, just because the Big Ten has such a good reputation of having so many good teams, and they're one of the best Power 5 conferences there. So taking an undefeated Big Ten championship and not putting them in the college football playoff would be really absurd, and something we haven't seen really ever before. It would be very disrespectful to the Badgers, and I would be very upset about it if it did happen.
And also, you bring up Oklahoma. If they picked Oklahoma, who lost to Iowa State, who is a respectable team this year, over Wisconsin, and same for Clemson, who lost to Syracuse, and they picked those teams over Wisconsin, I would never understand that.
Our last topic of the day, season predictions for the Wisconsin men's basketball team this year. Ryan, what do you think?
Okay, so if you guys remember in 2016, we were probably predicted to be pretty bad and not even make the tournament, and then we started out 9-9 and losing to, what was that first team we lost to? Some high school team.
Western Illinois.
Yeah, them. And we are 9-9, looking pretty bad. The streak's probably going to be over, and then we make the Sweet 16. I believe that's what it's going to be again this year. We're not going to predict. We're not in the top 25 in the preseason, which is, I get it. And then probably not going to look too good mid-season. Then we're going to find a way back into March Madness.
In my opinion, there's a lot of uncertainty around this season, obviously. We don't have the star power we had in the previous few seasons, but Greg Gard is a great coach. The Badgers have a lot of raw talent coming in this season, not to mention the return of Ethan Happ, who in my opinion is a sleeper candidate for the Wooden Award this year. I'm going to say they win about 20 games this year. They'll get a 7 or 8 seed. Like Ryan said, I think that they'll sneak in. I don't think they'll go to the Sweet 16 or the Final Four or anything like that.
National
I think
champions.
they'll be no, they're not going to win the national championship. But I think they'll get to about round of 32. But the next season and the season after that, though, is going to be great because this raw talent we've got coming in now is going to be developed. But in these next 2 years, and we're going to be a whole lot scarier. In the next couple of years, I'd expect the Badgers to make another Final Four run.
Should have Tyler Hero coming in next year, but, you know.
Yeah, that was a very disappointing turn of events for the Badgers. But the Badgers are still going to be a great program regardless of whether or not he comes. Hey, guys, thanks for watching our dual commentary. This is the first one we've ever done. This is a lot of fun to make. Tonight, the Bucks take on the Celtics at the Mecca tonight. It's going to be great. The Mecca obviously is the place that the Bucks played in the 70s and 80s, where they won their first NBA championship in 1971, and currently their only NBA championship. But that's all about to change with Giannis Antetokounmpo. But if you have any time tonight to watch it, I would turn that on because it's going to be on TNT national television. It's going to be a great night for the Bucks. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to make. It was a lot of fun to make this video. I'm really excited to make a lot more of these in the future. So tell me what you think in the comments, and tell Ryan what you think in his comments section. Make sure to subscribe to both of us. He's BrewPack 8, I'm OberSports. And if you're on either of the channels and you haven't subscribed to the other channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button on the other channel. We'll leave the links in the comments. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Insta, down in the description below. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.